Hey guys, it's Adu. I'm back again with another video. I literally just created a video not that long ago, and so I thought I'm actually not sure when I'll be back again, so why not kill two birds with one stone? So I'm making two videos. The two stones are the two birds are the two videos, and the one stone is the camera, or the one stone is this instance. And you guys get it. But yeah. So, I am here continuing my series on pet peeves, book pet peeves to be precise. You guys know how it goes. You guys know how these videos goes. It's going to be ranked, my pet peeves. I'm just going to tell you what it is. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so the first pet peeve, the third pet peeve on this list is short books, novellas. I honestly have been very vocal about how much I hate short reads, and what I consider a short read kind of has changed. I've been less strict over the past few months really about what a short read is. Before, I would tell you a short read has 200 to 300 pages. That's how strict I used to be. But if a book is good, then it shouldn't matter how short it is. Personally, for me, that comes into play how short a book is, because you can't tell me that you're gonna create a story about an interesting couple. You're gonna delve into their past. You're gonna delve into how they might interact with each other, the barriers, the physical or mental barriers that might be taking place during the point at which they come together. Like, I might just be doing too much, but like I want a fleshed out love story. I don't want a love story that is just like, oh, they saw each other, they like each other, they get into a relationship, that's it. No, I want past instances, past experiences that might interfere with that, with that story, with how they get together. And you can't fit that in such a short novel, a novella. In fact, I hate the word, it's disgusting. Novella. Anyway, so now what I consider a novella, or to be honest, it's not my say on what a novella is. A novella is a novella is a novella, okay? A short read for me, I consider that now 100, I would say less than 100 to 100, okay? Like, I'm not gonna read the book. Unless you tell me, unless that book is basically a prelude to a longer length novel. I'm not gonna read the book. And most of the time, that's not the case. I don't know. It's just a pet peeve, guys. It's nothing serious. Don't take me too seriously. But yeah, the second pet peeve on this list kind of contradicts. I'm going to explain why it doesn't soon. But it kind of contradicts the first pet peeve. So the third pet peeve that I gave to you. The second pet peeve is a wordy novel. Like, I did tell you guys that I do love long length novels. Like, I love about 250 pages to even 400, even 500, okay? But most of the time, you will find that even to be honest, a 400-page novel, you'll find that it's just wordy. Like, it's just too many words taking up too much space, too much unnecessary space, okay? And obviously, there I will agree with you. There I would say I understand why people prefer less than that. But okay, that is an example of when someone does it wrong, when people just do too much. Basically, there's certain authors that I read that are just very wordy. Their descriptions are just too wordy, and it's like, you simply could have just explained this in shorter sentences. You didn't have to do too much. Shakespeare is gone. You don't have to impress him anymore. Like, these people want to be competing against that Shakespeare. Is enough now, is enough. Shakespeare is gone. I beg. That's my prerogative. That is my pet peeve, okay? I personally just don't like wordy descriptions. You know, I used to be that person. I might even still be that person. But when it comes to my writing, my sister always used to bang my head and saying, Adi, you write too wordy. You write like you always got a dictionary right next to you. And in fact, I did always have a dictionary right next to me. I did. The dictionary used to be my best friend, mate. What can I say? Please don't play again. Oh my god. Okay, so my first and final pet peeve, the highest pet peeve on this list, the most egregious, see, I'm a wordy person, pet peeve on this list, okay, is when the author can't distinguish between the male POV and the female POP. POP. Sorry. POV. Pause. When they can't distinguish between the male protagonist and the female protagonist. So obviously you guys should know what I mean by this. Like some authors, some novels, they do tend to have dual POVs. You know, it is what it is. Sometimes I love that, sometimes I could do without it, okay? But if you do decide as an author to have two POVs, POVs, and most of the time it's male and it's the female protagonist, right? But it literally sounds like it's just coming from the same person. So it's like it takes you a while to really get, okay, whose POV is this? Is this the guys or is it the girls? You know what I mean? And most of the time you would always mistake, because I mainly read female writers, you know. Most of the time it's a female writer, so it just, when it comes to how she writes the male POV, it doesn't sound like it's coming from a man. It sounds like it's coming from you, the author, the female author. And I just hate that. I genuinely just hate that. Like, if you struggle to write convincingly from the perspective of a man, then I beg, just don't do it. Sometimes you don't need to even hear the male POV. Sometimes the female protagonist's perspective is enough. You know what I mean? And vice versa. I just genuinely don't like it. I don't like it when it's just unclear, when, you know, it's like, I just don't like it. I think it's cheap. I think it's just an ick to me. It's a pet peeve. It's so annoying. That's how I can really describe it, you know. And like I said, I don't really have a preference, I feel like, when it comes to dual POVs or just a solo, you know, a singular POV. I don't really have a preference about one or the other, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's just like, don't stress yourself. You don't have to stress yourself as an author. If you struggle to write from a female perspective or a male perspective, then do what is comfortable for you, okay? Do what is comfortable for you. And do what would be comfortable for the author too. Satisfy me, mate. You're writing a novel, you know, you're writing a novel not for yourself, you're writing it for the public. If that makes sense. But anyway, those are my pet peeves. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If I bothered you in any way, comment down below and share your grievances. Share your grievances, and peace.